Greetings, members one and all of the Salivation Nation. Silver, the metal that has eluded us for quite some time in terms of price. But we're going to explore this particular metal and why we should continue to hold it, to buy it, and to not lose heart when the prices fall as they do. It's okay to buy silver when the prices are low. That's right. Silver. It has been a metal that has seen times of languishing at a certain price, stagnant, we will say, for quite some time. Although, as of late, we have recently witnessed some volatility in the prices, and really, essentially, since the crisis of 2007 and 2008, silver has made moves up and down. In fact, we saw it get to the high of over $48 an ounce briefly in 2011, and then kind of make its way back down and up and down to where we are now. We're at a period now where I believe when we see a movement 20, 30 cents in the price, and it gets us excited or depressed, depending on what side of the spectrum the price movement is. But silver is a metal that has throughout history has proven itself to be money. And I believe that in this modern age, and with the multiple various uses of silver as a commodity, people often forget that. And even for those of us who stack this metal or even collect it in its various different forms, we find ourselves frustrated to see the price move where it has. But we also are quite confident that this metal will continue to do what it always does, and that is to preserve our wealth in the long run. It's one of those things where you can take a look at the price of silver and compare it to the inflation-adjusted dollar, and you will be able to find and pick apart various different time frames where silver has performed very poorly against an inflated dollar. But then you will see times where it has performed very well against an inflated dollar. When you average it all out in the long run, silver preserves wealth. It doesn't create it, it preserves it. And really, when you think about it, that is what money is. Money is simply a unit of exchange that is fungible, that is divisible, that maintains a value and a constant in exchange for goods and services. Now, in this particular time frame, silver really does perform that role to a point, but mostly we use currency for that, and silver nowadays is not used as a currency, and it is not the actual end of exchange, a medium of exchange, but it does not take away its monetary properties. And it's for that reason, really, and plus because of the beauty of the silver, like some of the pieces you see before you, why it is okay to accumulate it when the prices are down. Silver is something that it will make moves as terms of a price because of it as a commodity, its use and how they mine it and how often they mine it, and how it's being mined today is quite different than how it could have been mined even 10 years ago. Many of the primary silver-producing mines out there are really essentially drying up. Many different sources are being found, but silver is essentially mined as a byproduct of other metals for the most part these days. And there's a lot of it being produced, a lot of it in the market now. And because of that, some people feel a little bit discouraged when the price goes down. And sometimes when the price goes down, as is the case, psychology does rule the day. So the things like this situation where low prices, people tend to shy away from it because it's not exciting. And silver really, for the most part, isn't all that exciting right now. We live in a particular time at this point where the economy, here in the United States anyway, appears to be doing very well. It's humming right along. Now, that will change, obviously. Most everybody is predicting that there will be some sort of recession coming in due course. However, one thing's for sure, that when people are happy and excited and things are going well, they tend to move away from things that protect them. They're willing to take more risks, so they're willing to put their money into asset classes or investments that will produce money. And things like, even nowadays, especially when we saw the age of the cryptocurrency start to take root, the cryptocurrencies have performed very well compared to safe haven assets such as silver and gold, especially silver. The crash JP Morgan phenomenon that started back in the day after the recession, that was the thing. That was the excitement for silver. And there's a lot of misinformation out there, too, about silver. And so people latched onto it with this promise that silver was going to go and skyrocket and that the economy was going to collapse. None of those things have happened. In fact, quite the opposite. The economy has recovered and is recovering, and silver prices are down. And they're down to a point where people have lost interest. They've either sold at a loss and invested money into things that are more exciting, more risky, more volatile. They've made money and are continuing to make money. That means the shine of silver has basically left them, and they're leaving silver behind. Notwithstanding, I think some of that, not for all of them, but some of them have done that because of a lack of understanding about silver. They have sold a lot of silver off and saw it as a depreciating asset, and then this split. And they went ahead and decided to try other avenues, and they saw the attractiveness of cryptocurrencies. They saw the attractiveness of other stocks and where the market is, and have actually made dollars there. Now, but when you take into account what's going on in the stock market, and there's nothing wrong with investing in the stock market or cryptocurrencies and making money there. But when you make money in any investment class out there, keep in mind that for every dollar you make, you must subtract at least 2% on average each year, because that is the losses you are taking in fiat dollars. And that is the aspect of what's going on by actually targeting from the Federal Reserve of a 2% inflation rate adjusted each year. So therefore, what about silver? Silver is not inflation-proof. However, it is a hedge against inflation in times of economic instability. That is for sure. But in the long term, depending of through recessions, economic good times and economic bad times, silver preserves its wealth. And it is for that reason that I think should be the primary motivator why people should diversify their investment portfolios with hedging, and hedging with silver and gold. Now, you've heard me talk about before how gold is the ultimate hedge against economic instability, but silver is too. It's just a little bit more volatile. And because of its volatility, if you play your cards right, you can buy it when it's low and hold on to it when the price goes up. You come out ahead, depending on those times of buys. That's not how I do it. I buy silver no matter really what the price is. I can just buy less of it when the price is higher, more of it when the price is low. And I use dollar cost averaging. And when you dollar cost average about your prices of a particular piece that may be a pretty high or a much higher price compared to that which would be in a lower price, you basically break even. You come out to a point where your money that you've spent on silver through the course of a long period of time averages out to being equal to the investment value of the dollar, or the value of the dollar. And that is really all we can hope for. That's all we should hope for. That's what silver is, and that's what silver does. It shines as a hedge. And because of that, we know that holding silver is something that will do us good in the long run to preserve our wealth. It's a medium of savings. Now, as you see before you here, this particular style, there's some very high premium pieces here, and there's some relatively low premium generic pieces right there. and then there's government-issued stacked pieces that you can find out there. And when you hold these metals in various different forms, you can enjoy accumulating silver in the various different styles that they come, because silver has been used as money since ancient times and has been a mode of exchange. And so rest in the confidence that silver is valuable, it is precious, and even though it's not as rare as some have thought or some have hoped for, we know that it is self-evident. And that intrinsic value that silver contains is something to be proud of, And so do not take heart. Do not be discouraged when the price goes low. If you can afford to do so, and as your budget allows, that's the time to buy more of it if you can. Because I do believe that the more silver we hold, it acts as a savings account in due course. And as long as we're patient and we hold fast, then I think it will do what it's supposed to do. If you're a collector like me, you enjoy it. You're always protected by the intrinsic value contained therein, no matter the cost you may have paid above the spot price of silver. You enjoy it. Other hobbies out there that people collect of other things can't say that. They don't have intrinsic value. A baseball card, a model, something made of plastic, collectible things, comic books, all the other different ways that you can collect out there. There is a real fear that the bottom could literally drop out of those collections as a value, as an investment. But the primary reason why people accumulate those things is why? Because they enjoy it. With silver, when you collect pieces such as you see before you here, the different styles, shapes, sizes of coins, rounds, bullion, and what have you, you can enjoy it, and you know that at the very worst, the worst case scenario, are always protected by the intrinsic value of the silver contained therein. So I hope this is an encouragement to anyone watching this video who have been a little bit down and out about the prices of silver as of late. Hold fast, hold strong, hold on to your silver, buy it when you can, as you can afford, be fiscally responsible, and again, this is one thing that I will say in a silver video about how valuable it is. I always encourage those who do accumulate silver, especially when it's down and out, is to also diversify into some gold as well. I believe holding gold is a great diversification and is even a more stable form of value, and it's an even safer haven against economic stability than silver. But by and large, silver has been used as money more widespread throughout history than any other metal on the face of the earth. It's only in recent times where it has not, and is shown as a store of value. Copper has too, but copper is sort of the red-headed step cousin of silver. So there you have it. Post your thoughts below. Would like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for watching this video. And keep hope alive with silver. And I want to encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.